We did it, yay!
She's the best, man. She's the best. He won it. He won it. She's the best.
Congrats, dude. Hey, we did it. Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 4 of the November Leetcode Daily Challenge. Hit the like button and subscribe button. Join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about today's problem. So today we have a easy problem. So yeah, hope you like the intro. It's just a little bit of a snippet of, you know, the marathon. Not during the race because apparently I needed every second. So, you know, but yeah, so I did finish about a minute short of my goal. Even though I thought I had buffer, but you know, it was tough. It was tough kind of, you know, being ahead of the pace until mile like 23 or something like that, of 26 and a little bit of change. And no needing, and yeah, it was just so much pain. Not pain that I, you know, I mean, I didn't know, obviously I handled it, but I had cramps on both my quads, hamstring, calves, and shin. Like I was basically like almost like using my legs as a walking stick or whatever. I don't know. Like I wasn't able to get much muscle involvement because everything was in pain on both my legs. It got to the point where even like my abs were sore, my sides were cramping a little bit. So definitely, it's possible that there's some nutrition thing versus like last year. I think last year when I ran it, my condition or the weather condition was much better in the sense that it was just much cooler. So I think maybe I just didn't prepare well enough for it. I mean, I'm still an amateur, if you will, still a beginner. Only my second marathon for speed anyway. So yeah. But you know, it is kind of interesting because I never thought, you know, because basically I was all cramped up with 1 hour left, and literally I was just going with nothing but heart at the end. It was tough seeing, like, you know, looking at every mile marker and be like, okay, I know that I lost X seconds every mile, and at the end I lost enough to you know, be down by a minute. So that was kind of tough. But I was also hoping that like my watch was wrong. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit of in denial. I was hoping that my watch would be wrong so that maybe I, you know, gain a few seconds back here and there. But you know, my body just wasn't having it. It was a warmer day, and I was optimistic, but I also, like, in the back of my mind, I knew it was going to be a little bit of a rough day because in my first half of the race, I knew that I was not going as fast, but the effort felt harder than during training, for one reason or another. I mean, you know. But that said, you know, the beauty of these things is that, you know, it's a minute. It is both forever and not that much, you know. It's a minute in 4 hours, right? And it's kind of weird, you know, in a weird way, because if I finish like 5 minutes slower than my goal, it would be more like, oh, you know, like there's so many things that went wrong that like it is what it is kind of thing, right? Or you know, like maybe another way of saying is, because I feel like everything did went wrong this time too, but you know, like one thing going right wouldn't have changed anything, right? There's some what ifs, but not as many. But when you're just like a little bit behind, 3 seconds, 3 seconds a mile faster, and it just felt like, you know, like every little thing could have been it. Maybe I could have taken a little bit more salt. Maybe I could have gone a little bit slower on some of the bridges or, you know, hills, to have more energy later on. There were just like a lot of little things like that you know, it's just tough, right? It's hard. But I also know that whatever what ifs there was no what if I gave anymore. There was no regrets there because I gave it everything. I was cramping for an hour. I kind of figured that if I stopped or slowed down, that was it for me. So I didn't. I mean, I did slow down because if I didn't, then I would have made it. But I just mean, like, you know, like actually slow down, you know, by a dramatic amount, right? So, so yeah, so it was, like I said, all hard. So I left it all out there to the point where like I had to go to the medical afterwards because I was just like very lightheaded. A little bit mostly due to just exhaustion. I mean, it turned out, not just to be clear, nothing's too serious. I think I was just exhausted. I drank a lot of Gatorade, and then everything cramped up, so I have trouble walking for like a little bit. So I had to kind of like lie on the ground and just like, you know, like self massage and like self stretching and all those things to kind of you know, get some blood floating or whatever it is, right? But you know, but the beauty is that this is not the end, right? Like, you know, stuff like that. If it's one and done, then, you know, like it's, because that's the other thing, right? Is that I don't think anyone reasonable would look at me, look at how I train, or look at my results and be like, oh, this is it. This is, you know, like it only goes downhill from here, right? Like you've hit your genetic limit. That's it, right? You cannot get any better, no matter what you do. No one believes that, or you know, maybe someone believes that, but not me, right? And so, yeah, like, you know, I'm only gonna get a little bit faster, or as fast as I want to spend time on, right? Like maybe, like, you know, maybe I don't go to sub 3 next year or whatever, but you know, I can just keep getting as fast as I want to train for, within reasonable, you know, like, or taking a long enough time for that goal, right? And who knows, maybe even on a better day, I could have done it yesterday too. So I don't know. But the point is that, you know, like I can be better, and you know, all this, you know, it still hurts in the moment because, you know, I spend like the entire time, you know, trying to hit this, but you know, it keeps going. It's not the end. It's not the last one, right? I'm signed up for next year. Spoiler alert. So it'll be okay. And I think I want to kind of like, you know, that's kind of my short synopsis. Short summary. Yeah, I mean, I think strategy wise, I definitely, you know, maybe I could like. That's the thing, right? Is that like there's so many maybes and what ifs. Like maybe I could have gone a little bit slow in the beginnings, and then maybe I could have held out a little bit longer. But I don't know. The numbers are so tight. But that's the thing, right? Is that when you don't build a strong enough foundation, the numbers will always be tight. But that's also the other thing, right? Is that if the numbers are not tight, you're not giving everything that you have. You know, that means that, you know, if you have. And what I mean by that is that if you aim for a goal and you figured that, and you arrived at the finishing line, still having like, oh, I could have gone another 5 miles with no trouble, that means your goal was really off, right? So in that sense, you know, in that sense, it is what it is. But yeah. Hopefully, yeah, you'll find corollary, you know, with your Leetcode journey. During the race, especially the last part, it was all hard, all grind, or just like 1 foot ahead of each other, 1 foot ahead of the other, 1 step at a time, 1 mile at a time. You know, in the last 10K, the last 6 miles, I was already like, you know, I had to do it, right? Like I wasn't like, I didn't walk during the entire thing, which is, you know, something that, I mean, not to say that walking is like necessary thing. It's just that wasn't my strategy, right? Like some people walk and some people have different goals, but for me, you know, because I think if I had walked, I would have been done, right? Maybe. But yeah, I gave it all my all. I left my heart out there, as they say. But you know, your heart is not only what you give on race day. It is not what you do on one day. Your heart, giving it your all, means waking up every day, making a little bit of progress toward whatever your goal is, right? It is not just how you show up and not give up on one day. It is being deliberate and plan and work as hard as you can for as long as you can, right? And it's okay if that time, the timeline is longer. You have, like a marathon, maybe. If you sprint out the first mile or two, you're gonna have nothing else left for the rest, right? So you have to figure out your pace that you're able to handle, and then just go with all your heart and deliberately go toward that slowly, maybe, but still one step at a time, 1 mile at a time, and you'll get closer to your goal. Just grinding it there, right? Anyway, all right. I took this opportunity to mention this during a Yeezy one, just because. I don't know. I figured if you're here, you're probably just curious. I mean, I don't know. Usually people don't watch my Yeezy videos as often because I think it's a Yeezy bomb. So hopefully my regulars could ask me what happened to the marathon. Well, that's that. And I'm also a little behind on the contest because I'm just like so drained the last couple of days. Fun fact is that I lost 8 pounds like from the beginning of yesterday and the end of yesterday, and I was drinking a lot of liquid the entire time. So these things they take a lot of strain on the body and everything. And I still cannot really walk. I have my this is my medal, in case you're wondering, by the way. It's so shiny, isn't it? Isn't it cool? Okay. I don't know. Even though it's a little bit of a medal of shame for me because but my other thing that I carry around everywhere is my walker thing, my cane, because man, I cannot get up easily. So yeah. All right, let's actually do this problem. Well, maybe if you have questions or things, we can chat, or I'll mention it in future videos. Leave some comments. Also, if you're here, of course, thanks for everyone's support. Thanks for everyone's good luck and vibes in the comments leading up to it. Even though I didn't mention it, I mean, the thing is that I know for sure I was faster. Maybe some of it is the weather. Maybe some of it is just the fact that New York Marathon is harder than the previous one that I ran, and the hardest major, right? And definitely harder than a lot of marathons. So even though I actually end up with a slower time, I probably I was definitely faster than I was last year, but just not by enough to make up for the difficulty. So it is what it is. And this year I made it a point to be more balanced in my life, because last year when I was going for it, I devoted everything to the marathon. This year I was trying to find a little bit more balance and took a more calculated route, say. Maybe not even calculated, just more balanced, and so that running does not dominate my life. So it is what it is. But it was fun. Except for the last hour in which I was just heads down and just trying to claw to the end as much as I can every second. But yeah. Make sure that when you work, when you give it all, have as few what ifs as you can. All right, let's go. Let's take a look at today's problem. Of 3318, find x sum of all k long subarrays 1. Maybe we'll solve 2 tomorrow. Who knows? All right, so you have an array of numbers k and x. X sum is calculated by the following procedure: count the occurrence of x all elements in the array. I mean, this is easy. Even though there's a lot of words, hopefully it should be okay. But there is a lot of words though. Anyway, count the occurrence of all elements in the array. Okay. Keep only the occurrence of the top x most frequent elements. I mean, this is just probably doing what they tell you, but it is so much. Calculate the sum of the resultant array. Okay. So I mean, then now we just have right? We put them into a frequency table. And then we want to sort f dot items where key is equal to let's just say I for items. So items will give you a key and value, but we want to do the value, the frequency first, and then if it's tiebreaker, then we want to do the item, but we want it to be bigger to the top or to the front, so we do negative. So now we sort this, and then now we just do, and this should return a key value. So so then we could just do. What is the result array? Only keep the Wait, what is K again? X most distinct. Where did the K come from? Did I miss the K? Did I mention K? Huh? Oh, I misunderstood this a little bit. I see. So, wait, what? They just kind of randomly drop K in here as if like, oh yeah, you know, we've been talking about K the entire time. Let's just drop K here. Okay, fine. I mean, it's still an easy problem, I guess, but and one thing I would say is that I try not to look at the examples because I feel like if you look at, if you need, I mean, the example is okay for clarifications to a degree, but if you need the examples to tell you what the problem is asking, then you failed as a problem writer. But okay. I don't know what this means, but okay, so we have to read this, I guess. So okay, so x is equal to 2, so we do 1, 2. Oh, I see. So basically it's a sliding window thing. So all this is wrong because I just didn't know what K meant. This is very weird though, the way that they phrase it. So it's like a sliding window. You say, okay, so let's take the first 6, then now the next 6, and the next 6, and then so forth, right? I mean, n is 50. I mean, I think there are, like what you actually want is a heap, right? Do you actually? I mean, definitely a heap in which you can adjust. There's probably things you can do to make this. Oh, I guess that is maybe part 2. So maybe okay. See if you can upsolve it. I don't want to spoil it too much for part 2 because I feel like I've been doing that sometimes. Okay, I see what they're doing now, but in the spirit of solving the problem that we're given and not the harder problem for today, in case that it is more difficult, let's let's just do it as dumb way as possible, and then I'll save energy for tomorrow. Yeah, okay, so let's just write something like this, right? And then okay, K is the thing, so X, we just look at the top X items, is it? Yeah. We could even say we can rotate this to a list and then just take the first X, right? X sum is the sum of the array. Okay, so then now it's just key times right, and then that should be good. Oops, that would definitely make it not good. Yeah, and then now we just go this is not quite right, but maybe minus K. I always a little bit weaker on whether I need to if it's off by 1 time. I always forget about on the range because it's exclusive. It feels awkward to me. Maybe I don't know. Something like that. Right? Excuse me. Jeez. Okay, so we're definitely off by 1 if nothing else. That's what I was saying. but it's still wrong though. Why is this wrong? Do. Am I off by 1 in the thing? No, this looks right. Right. So when we am I misunderstanding what the X is? No. So 1 1 2 2. Right. So why is this wrong? This is doing 7. Is wait, no, that doesn't seem right. It should be right. Am I off by 1? Huh. Oh, this is also biggest first, and I sorted it the wrong way. What a silly mistake. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is easy, so we'll keep it easy and dumb for now. So let's give a quick submit. And yeah, and that's it. We should be Gucci. I mean, this is way whatever, right? This is n log n, and n times n log n, right? So n squared log n. I think that's right. So yeah, there's some easy optimizations. Even just in general, is that you can save some RAM here, and maybe here. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, probably. I have some ideas, but maybe that's cheating already because I don't know. I don't know, whatever. But whatever. We'll talk about it tomorrow, or if it comes up tomorrow. That's all I have for today. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay good, stay healthy to your mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye bye.